So today we're going to be exploring Mont-Royal and the actual park today. This time in the daytime. We're going to actually explore the whole park this time instead of just going to the observatory. Then we're going to go to St Joesphs Oratory. We're going to go to the art museum probably. And then we're going to check out Chinatown. And I'm not sure what else, but I'm sure this day is going to be exciting. And I can already tell it's freaking cold today. See, that's the type of stuff where I can see that photography can be considered art, is when you're actually creating the whole scene from scratch. Okay, so they probably painted themselves those colors on a white background. That takes a lot of creativity. Now, just going around and taking pictures of things, I think it's cool, but it doesn't have the same level of creativity as something like that. So I consider that photography more of art. Here we are at the east side of Mont-Royal Park. Not really sure what's over on the east side of it. We're walking this way, but we're gonna go check it out. Man, is it cold in Montreal. Today is significantly colder than yesterday, but you gotta get prepared for Iceland. Hopefully the GoPro doesn't die on us anytime soon. So on this side there's like a park, but it's not really much going on because it's all covered in snow. Over here we have the Theater of Tremont. I don't know if it's really worth coming this way. There's not a whole lot going on over here in the wintertime. But now we're gonna head over to Mont-Royal, go explore the parks. So this is a hospital. Hospital Royal Victoria. Okay, so we're back on the path, Mont-Royal. I'm gonna check the observatory first. Then there's a cross on the other side. We're gonna loop back around. And then there's like a park with a pond. And then we're gonna go to the oratory, St Joesphs Oratory, and figure out what we're gonna do from there. A lot of walking in these couple of days. And other than getting from the airport to downtown, we walked to every location that we wanted to. So I definitely think 4 days is enough for Montreal. 100%. To get all the highlights. Now we do want to come back to Montreal to go to the Biodome and the Insectarium, which are both closed right now. So we will come back for that. And we will also come back to Quebec City. We'll come back in the morning. We'll come back in the summer when it's a bit warmer. And also check out that little amusement park. And those two little islands when they come back. Definitely quite peaceful. It looks more wooded than Central Park. I like that it's a hill too, whereas Central Park is relatively flat. So we are here at Mont-Royal Observatory at 8:45 a.m. and we are the only person here. I've seen a couple people hiking as we were walking up here, but man, we get this whole view to ourselves. Definitely a pretty view of Montreal. The size of the city, I would definitely have to say, is more like Boston or Philadelphia than New York. It's still a cool city, and I would have to say that this trip would be the equivalent of a Boston or Philadelphia trip in terms of excitement. So if you're thinking of coming to Montreal from Europe or a different country, would you take an overseas trip for Boston or Philadelphia? If the answer is yes, I would definitely come and check out Montreal. If the answer is no, it's not that exciting for you, then you might want to stick to something else. It's a cool trip, don't get me wrong. It was definitely a lot of fun. I had a lot of fun. It was really cool to see Montreal and see how they speak French and experience the Canadian culture. It is not awe-inspiring like the Great Wall or, you know, some of the mountains in Peru or Machu Picchu. You're not going to get that level of excitement from this type of trip, but the city is really, really cool. If you like cities, you're going to like Montreal. I promise you. It's really cool. It's a bit small. There's not a whole lot to do, but it's definitely a lot of fun. And we scored this trip for super, super cheap. We paid about $300 total for the plane and the hostel for 4 nights. You cannot beat that. And what I'm realizing now is 4 nights is actually quite a bit of time. What we did was we only took off 1 extra day of work. We have Monday off for President's Day, and then we took off Tuesday. So we'd like to do more 4-day trips. So if you have any suggestions of where we should go for 4 days, that is within, I'd say, like a 3-hour flight, let us know in the comment section below and we'll try to do that. Toronto is on that list. Niagara Falls is on that list too. If you have any other suggestions, let us know. Maybe we could even do like Bermuda or something. Who knows? But let us know what you would recommend in the comment section below. And one last pan of Montreal. So this is Mont-Royal. This is actually where they got the name of Montreal. Mont-Royal, Montreal. So this is what the city is named after. It used to be the biggest city in Canada. However, Toronto has since gained popularity. There's always been a clash between the English and the French side of Canada, and they periodically hold referendums whether they want to secede from Canada or not. Luckily, nothing has happened yet. Now, we're venturing off to Mont-Royal Cross. Definitely pretty wooded area. And they even have little trails for you to go snowshoeing on. We can see the cross to Montreal right there. And it is a lot larger than I anticipated. It's definitely bigger than Creste Blanco in Peru. So here we have, I think they're blue jays eating from a bird feeder. And we got these guys eating the remnants. But those birds are pretty cool. We have some kind of woodpecker over here. I wish I had my long lens on my Sony, but I dropped it in Baltimore. Then we could really get a better view. Anybody know what kind of birds these are? Let us know in the comment section below. It's pretty cool that you can live in a major city and not even half an hour walk and be able to ski. Oh, here's some more. We're now at the cross of Montreal. So it has some lights on it. I guess it lights up at night. I would say this is about 70 feet or so. 70, 80 feet. I believe this is a cemetery here. And there's St Joesphs Oratory. Walking from Old Montreal to St Joesphs Oratory. It's quite the hike. But we got plenty of time. So now we're getting more towards the park area of Mont-Royal. We're starting to decline in elevation. I'm not sure what's over here. There should be a lake or a little pond. Here we have a horsey. Hi, little guy. Hi, big guy. You're bigger than me. We got another horsey over here. Look at this guy. Oh, he wants my GoPro. So here is the lake. I bet this would be a lot prettier in the summer without all the snow, because right now it's blending in. But it is pretty cool. They are sledding over there. They have these trails and these trails for people to sled under. We also have some ice skating over here and the visitor center. Here we are, finally, probably after like a good 5-6 miles, we are at St Joesphs. This looks like Eden. So we're at the museum, the Oratory of St Joesphs, and it looks like we're the only ones here. I'm not sure if this is a separate ticket than the rest of the oratory or not, but we paid like $3 to get in, so if it is, it doesn't really matter. Different exhibits of the virgin birth. It's him making it out of clay, so that way it can be cast into that. The craftsmanship on this is amazing. Definitely worth the $3 to come in and check this out. So there are all the different cultures, depictions of the birth of Jesus. And it's interesting how each culture depicts it slightly differently. So in Africa, Jesus looks black. In America, or Western parts, Jesus is white. steps of St Joesphs Oratory. You get a great view of both this side of Montreal and the Oratory itself. You don't actually have to spend any money to come see the Oratory, other than that little museum, which I don't think is really, I mean, it's only $3, but it wasn't that great, to be honest. But that chapel was really cool. Definitely for free. You gotta check it out. And from on top of the terrace, you get a pretty good view of Montreal. And you also get a good view of the Oratory itself. So let's get one more pan. And from the second level, almost wish it was built on the other side of Mont-Royal, you'd have a much better view. This is where it starts to get into suburbia. So that was St Joesphs Oratory. It was definitely a cool sight to see. I definitely recommend you come here. It's free, or at least they never charge us any money other than that little museum, which wasn't really worth it. You could skip over that. Now we got a long ass walk back to civilization, about 3 miles. I think this courtyard will look a lot nicer in the summer when there's actually grass there and you can see leading up all the way to the Oratory. Because it's so cold and it's right here, we're gonna go for a bowl of ramen for lunch and then do Tim Hortons for dinner. And then make the trek back to the art museum. So we can get some lunch now. I'm hungry. So we got the pork shoyu ramen. And the way this cup looks, bowl looks, it's a bit small. Let's try it. Pretty good. Very pork flavor. Scallions are great. Not bad. For the price, not bad. So we went to A&W. Always got to get the float. They're amazing. We got the Buddy Burger and the fries. We wanted to get the popcorn shrimp. They have that in Plattsburgh, but apparently they don't have that here in Montreal. So we started with the burger instead. But we really came here for this.